Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Alfa Romeo of Naples. We just got this new 2020 Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio in our inventory right now. Well, why is that special? We love our SUVs with 505 horsepower. Now in this video, we're going to talk about the options on the exterior as well as the interior, but we're also going to take it on the road and show you what a 505 horsepower SUV is actually capable of. So let's dive right into it. This color is Trofeo White, a common color for the new 2020 Alfa Romeos, and as you can see, it is definitely an elegant color. You'll see why it's popular, just because it's always good in or out of the sunlight. Out of the sunlight, it looks like a flat white. In the sunlight, it is a very dynamic color with a little bit of sparkle to it and great contour on this body style. You'll see the vents up on the hood here that the Quadrifoglio Stelvios have. Now, as far as wheel options go, it's got the 5-hole classic Alfa Romeo wheel setup. Now, of course, you got yellow calipers in there. Yellow pairs great with the Trofeo White, but those are probably one of my favorite wheel types for the Alfa Romeos as far as the 2020s go. Of course, you got your Stelvio Quadrifoglio badge on the side. Now you got the black side skirt. Now that's the exterior setup basically. Let's jump inside. It is a Quadrifoglio. You got the full sport seats, and this car has probably one of the most unique two-tone stitching options I've ever seen. If you look closely at the stitching, you'll see it's a combination of white stitching and green. Now the white, of course, matches the Trofeo White on the outside, but the green also matches the clover in the Quadrifoglio badge. So a little bit of mix there, great contour, great style for this interior with your black seats. You've got your light leather. Definitely a great light on dark theme. The green stitching really brings out the color in what an Alfa Romeo interior should look like. Now, of course, you got your carbon in there, but that's not where this car shines. Where it shines is on the road. So having looked at the inside, let's jump in, take you for a ride on the road, and tell you what this car is capable of. Follow along. All right, now let's get this Stelvio Quadrifoglio on the road, and I want to show the advantages to having an SUV full size with a hatch in the back, full seating, full bench seating in the back and seats in the front. I want to show you the advantages to having an SUV with that much space as well as 505 horsepower. Now, of course, it's going to be torquey. You got the twin turbo V6. It's going to have a pretty good sound. You're going to have no trouble getting up to speed no matter where you're needing, whether it be an on-ramp or maybe just some spirited driving around town. You're going to have a blast. Now, sitting here at this red light, I do have the car in normal mode. You can change that right here as I've covered before. Keeping it in the normal road, maybe your commute mode, just tooting around town really. It is quiet. You can tell you can't really hear it much. What I'm going to do is take this left here and get on it just a little bit in normal mode. You'll hear how quiet it is and still fast. Then we'll switch over to dynamic mode, and we'll let you hear the exhaust pipes a little bit, and you'll see just how that changes the handling a little bit, the throttle response, just the overall personality of the car. So taking the turn here, again, we are in normal mode. I do like to keep it in manual mode, giving me full control of all the gear shifts. If you're not comfortable with that, you can keep it in automatic mode. It'll make all the shifts for you. But one thing that not many people know about is the transmissions in these new Alfa Romeos are lightning fast. I mean, there is no lag between clicking of the paddle and the shift of the gear. If you want to drop a few gears, instantaneous, and you can really get on it. Now, like I said, it is normal mode, very quiet, very smooth ride. You can adjust that with the damper switch down here I've talked about before. Even if you go into dynamic mode, you can still soften up the ride a little bit, even in race mode. So now that we're stopped again, I'm actually going to head over into dynamic mode. It'll let me know there on the infotainment system. It's going to light up everything red. Immediately, I hear the valves in the exhaust opened up. You get a little more sound out of them back there. A little more aggressive gear shifts too. Sometimes you get a little pop out of the gear shift. Just the absolute amazing character of the new Alfa Romeos. You can hear just how crisp those downshifts are and lightning fast. Absolutely love the transmissions in these new Alfa Romeos. Now with the red line up at 65, 6600 RPM, you can really hear a V6. Letting a V6 get that high safely, such as in these Alfa Romeos, changes the entire character of the car. Sometimes you have to do a double take as to what kind of engine are in it just by listening. Definitely a great sound. So while you're cruising along here, you do have this infotainment system. If you have a question where you are, you need navigation, it's just a touch of a button away. It's going to give me live updates on where I am. You can type in an address. You can keep a phone book of addresses you frequently use. Definitely very helpful, but it also has plenty of other things it does connected to your phone. But that's just something you would expect out of a new SUV. They're not sacrificing comfort when you enter the sport realm in the Alfa Romeo series, which is definitely nice. You can adjust driver assistance. It's got all up-to-date technology, lane assist, all of those warnings and stopping assist. But you're just not breaching usability when you enter a car with over 500 horsepower. It really is the best of both worlds. Now I'm going to turn around here and I'm actually going to put it into race mode here, and that's going to limit the traction, and it's going to give me full power, and it's also going to make those gear shifts as aggressive as possible. So again, we'll keep it in manual mode so I have full control of those gear shifts, but we're going to really let the car go. You can hear the sputtering on those gear shifts as this car just sets you back in your seat. That feeling will never get old, I promise you. And that coming out of a full space SUV, unbelievable.